On that note, I want to welcome Andy and Angus from Song Division. You're with us. Hey, Andy.
Hi, Diane.
Andy, so looking forward to hearing, and Angus, great to see you.
Angus is where the party's at.
Hey, I thought, what a perfect segue into this conversation, right?
I'm at the Natural History Museum. He's in a bar in Manhattan.
Well, listen, that sounds good to me. Nothing heals like music. We've been personally, I've been glued to all the concerts and Facebook and the people from their living room, and it's what gets us speaking to one another again, doesn't it, Andy? So share some thoughts on that, the healing power of music.
It does. And I guess, you know, they had the big world concert on the weekend, which, you know, Lady Gaga brought to everyone, which I enjoyed despite some critics online. And I think music, you know, in terms of healing, it can come across a little bit light and fluffy for some people. So I thought I'd start with, I don't know if anyone out there saw last week in the news that there was a scientist from MIT. There's a group of scientists who are actually mapping the protein chains from COVID-19 to music using artificial intelligence. And they're using it actually in search for the vaccine. So they can actually map it out. They can see inconsistencies and patterns, and they're using it as a serious tool. So in the end, music will save the day for the vaccine. So there you go. On a more general note, I guess, you know, at Song Division, if people aren't aware of who we are, we unite organisations around their purpose using the science of music. And the reason we say the science of music, I guess, is kind of, to simplify it, it's a battle between hormones. There's the cortisol hormone that most of us are aware of, which is the stress hormone. And then there's oxytocin, which is the hormone that actually gets us into the part of our brain, which I'll go into a bit more detail, the part of our brain where we can connect with people. So empathy, we can be strategic, we can be creative. And that's the part of the brain that we all want to be in when we're putting on live events or virtual events or just living in general. So music can help us with that. So I guess music is more, I would put it more in the mental health assistance category than the light and fluffy. Cortisol, we're all aware of. You know, you've all heard of the amygdala, the fight or flight, the reptilian part of the brain, which is where.
Whoops.
You don't need that from me. You
No.
should all safe. But and I won't go into too much detail on that, but you know, you've all heard the example of you know, we get pumped full of cortisol, and it was meant to, from our history, is meant to help us sort of run away from the pending threat of a tiger in the bush, which doesn't help us much when we get that same stress level from office politics, work pressure, living at home under close quarters with partners and homeschooling and what have you. And then the opposite of that is the oxytocin. And so how do we create more oxytocin? You know, anthropologists believe that the creation of music is what actually brought communities together in the first place. So apes and chimps form social bonds by picking fleas off each other. And as Dianne, I know we've been talking about hairdressers, but it's also maybe a connection why we all have good conversations with our hairdressers, because we spend so much time with them playing with our hair. But that touching of each other actually releases oxytocin, and that's how you form social bonds sort of outside of your immediate family. And so, you know, the history of society is that once we went from, you know, families to tribes to towns to cities, is that the creation of music as a collective is a way of interacting with more than the immediate people around us, so that we release this oxytocin and we feel comfortable in those groups. So the creation, listening to music is one thing, and that releases serotonin and oxytocin. The creation of music is sort of the next step. It really gives us a good dose of that. And you can get that by singing in a choir. There's been a lot of couch choirs going on online at the moment. Learning an instrument. There are some amazing apps out there to learn how to play the piano or sing, and playing in virtual bands. So the creation of music, which is what Angus is going to help all of you do at the end, is try and give everyone a little dose of oxytocin at the end of the session.
I was on mute because I didn't want you to hear the music in back of me. No, I'm teasing. But Andy, can you give us some recent examples of how you and your team have used music during the lockdown?
What was it, Dianne? Led Zeppelin or Drake? What were you listening to?
Yeah. Mozart.
Mozart, very good. Good
I
choice.
do. I just want you to know, Andy, I do play Mozart. The Mozart study music. I put it on for 3 hours every day. That's my discipline to work.
I can't listen to. I think a lot of people think I listen to music all day. I can, when I'm working. It has to be instrumental music without a drum beat or a vocal.
Yeah.
So generally, classical music is what I listen to when I'm working. It also helps with your alpha brainwaves as well. So there is a lot of science to it. But in terms of what we've been doing over the last 5 weeks, we started. I mean, obviously, like everyone else on this call, all our live events got cancelled, and we're in the live event business. And we operate globally, so we had events cancelled all around the world. But pretty much straight away, we started doing free happy hours for the markets that we operate in. So it's open to the community, and so we have a lot of people from the meetings and events industry, but also family, friends, colleagues, just people out there. And so we've been running those in Australia, Singapore, UK, Europe, and the US. And what they've been is just a really fun hour hosted by our amazing musicians like Angus Clark, who I'll introduce properly in a moment. So there's performances, there is like a rock and roll game show, quizzes, competition. People win. Their prizes are generally an Insta hit where they win a song written about them or their business from one of our musicians. So they've proved really just again, there's nothing too serious about it. Like, the work that we do normally is very team building focused or interactive, team building for 20 people or interactive general sessions for up to 10,000. So it's somewhere on that spectrum between team building and interactive entertainment. But
I know, but Andy, you say there's no, it's not complicated, but you know what? It is. And the reason, I majored in a double major. And I'd say this to you because part of it was developmental drama, and under developmental drama was music therapy.
Absolutely.
I know what you do at our major industry shows. So you bring so much joy to people. And like I say, it's almost it's that nonverbal language. But I'm interested to hear what you've been doing with the frontline workers, right?
Yeah, well, and on that front, the main thing with these online versions is that the main thing people are looking for, rather than the team building or trying to get a message across, which is sort of in the normal world where we operate, is purely for connection and just being in the same room together, interacting with each other, interacting with musicians and creating music is creating those connections, and is a real reprieve. We had one, you mentioned Frontline. We had a event a couple of days here with Amua Family Services, which is the main kids charity in Hawaii. And their psychologists and social workers have been looking after all the kids of the frontline workers. And so there's a lot of stress involved. No one slept for the last 5 weeks. And they called on us just to deliver a really lightweight, fun hour where people could just interact with each other. And again, it is the universal language, whether it's Billie Eilish or Slayer or whatever your vice is in music, we can all connect through music. So it's proven very, and the big surprise with us was we know how it all works live. And I know David just put on a fantastic showcase of the Nashville talent, the fundraiser. It still is having an impact online. We're all looking forward to we all want to go back to South by Southwest, right. Sam, we love South by Southwest, but it still does have an impact on people and on their mental health online.
Yeah, no, I know you do great work, and from a corporate point of view, independent, any events that it's that surprise element, and that just that you have your pulse literally on the event, so that the music is then customized to reach the people and be part of the messaging and the whole thing. I mean, I don't know how much more you want to add, Andy, before
I think rather than listening to me, I thought if we go to Angus, I don't think Angus runs Song Division USA. He's the general manager. He's my partner, been my beautiful partner for the last 12 years in the US, and he moonlights on the side when he's not running things for Song Division. He goes and plays lead guitar for the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, which sells about 1 million tickets a year, and he plays the odd gig with Cher as her lead guitarist. So he
Hey.
knows what he's doing, and he's in Song Division's bar in New Jersey. So I think he's written
Angus,
for everyone.
what more can I say, Angus? I had tickets for Trans-Siberian in Chicago, and I forget why I couldn't make it, but I'll see you at the next one for sure. So you want to give us some musical healing right now?
Yes, I've been, so Andy and I were actually texting back and forth throughout the conference with ideas and little takeaways from all the different presentations. And part of the thing that's so great about using music is that it helps these things stay with us. And there was so much great information over the course of this entire event that I'm sure I encourage everyone to follow up with the various presenters and their various websites and presentations that I know some of are available elsewhere or through you, because a lot of it was very specific. So I took some notes, and I have a couple lyrics maybe people could help me with. I had something about when we're talking about insurance, there's this everybody wants a COI. And I don't know if there's something we can rhyme with COI, or about the importance of who you get the COI from, and so on and so forth, and what it says on it, which boxes are checked and stuff like that. A piece of the pie, says
I
John.
got piece of the, I was going to say, do you want, we're requesting chats, everybody. All right. So we need people to give us a COI rhyme. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, put it in the chat box.
Okay,
John
everyone.
already offered up piece of the pie, which I
Yeah,
like.
pretty cool. I don't want to die.
John's got all of them. And then and there was wonderful stuff about safe harbor, which is a great rhyming word. If anyone
have
has
another one,
anything that
Angus.
rhymes with harbor, that would be
Yeah,
a
we've
good.
got piece of the pie. I don't want to die, and I want to know why. All right. Oh, wait, they're coming in now. Might not get it, but we
Jacqueline
can
Bernstein,
try.
shout out to Jacqueline. Help us not cry. There you go. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Cindy, I'd like to see my barber.
The end is nigh. The end is nigh, huh? Okay.
I like, we all need, how do we find a safe harbor right now? I'd like to see my barber. I think that's a great one, Cindy. That's a good call. And so, okay, and then I'm trying to think of what I really like this line. We're having a cage match over force majeure. I thought that was very poetic. I think David came up. It was either David or the other gentleman from the more of the insurance side. I thought
Larry, yes, Larry Cosio, yes, yeah.
And
you've got a YOY coming here, Angus. You've got a YOY.
YOY. That's easily singable. I like that. And then there was the notion that we're the first industry down and the last one back. I thought that was an important statement. And big shout out from Jacqueline, much appreciated. I've developed these skills doing Instagram Live, responding to comments as I'm talking on the
I was going to
camera.
ask you, so you don't need me here. You got your chat. Let's all find a cure, right, Angus?
So, but okay, we've got some great stuff. I'm going to get on my singing mic so I sound kind of like I'm in a swimming pool. Now, is that too much? I think it's just great. Okay. What I want to talk about now is the chorus. And for the chorus, Dianne, I went with you. I went with the notion of invisible, invincible. I think that it's great. I think you almost wrote your own first hit song with that. So, so for the chorus, my idea was, this is the time, this is the place, gonna look this challenge square in the face, which came up during the meeting. Someone mentioned that. I thought that was a great phrase. And then when you feel like you're invisible, get together and find out you're invincible. I'm just going to let it sink in for everybody. Just take a minute. You'll be fine. I know. That's the tingle you get when you bring
music into the picture and you make things rhyme, you start to realize these things. Now, COI, make me cry. I like that one.
I'd like to see my friends and family, my oh my. All right. Don't fight it, just supply. Ooh, I like that too. All right. I'm going to use one of these because the one I had for everybody wants a COI, I had to add the word baby to it, and it made me feel self-conscious about it being, an inappropriate term. I had everybody wants a COI, baby. Don't mean nothing unless you get it straight from the agent. And it didn't really rhyme anyway. So everybody needs a COI. And my friends want to know what's my ROI. And my clients want to know what's my ROI. Let's do that one. All right, good. That comes from Angela Caraway. All right, my clients want to know.
Isn't that the truth, though? Yep.
What's that?
I said, isn't that the truth?
Exactly. All right, and then we're going to go. And my clients want to know what's my ROI. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your participation. We are now going to perform the song. This is the invisible
anthem for C19. If you put yourselves on gallery view, or you can put it on spotlight and watch me perform, or you put it on gallery view and everybody, can clap along while on mute and stuff like that. It'll make it extra fun for me. All right, here we go. Sorry. When we made the call, read the fine print and know it all. Everybody wants a COI. My clients want to know my ROI in all of this. We all need partners. How do we find safe harbor? We need help to figure it out. 'Cause I'm gonna give Trina a shout. This is the time. This is the place. Gonna look this challenge square in the face. When you feel like you're invisible, get together and find out you're invincible. Who's gonna pay for all this mess? Basic form, broad form, and the special form, yes. Direct physical loss covered by perils gets you interrupted income with no errors. Having a cage match over force majeure, hard to get a win-win, that's for sure. First industry down and the last one back. We all take the hit, then we get back on track. This is the time, this is the place. Gonna look this challenge square in the face. When you feel like you're invisible, get together to find out you're invincible. This is the time, this is the place. Gonna look this challenge square in the face. When you feel like you're invisible, get together to find out you're invincible, yeah. Find out you're invincible, invincible. Get together to find out you're invincible. Find out you're invincible. That's it. Unmute yourselves so I can hear a thunderous round of applause from everyone.
Angus, thank you so much. That was just perfect. What a great way to wrap up the day. Andy, thank you. Thank you. Angus,
Thank you, Diane.
what can I say? You rock. Everybody on this phone call does. I mean,